Hello. Right now, I am completely befuddled, perturbed, and absolutely upset. Alright, y'all know I bought some of the model die casting, model power, 440 and 260 steam locomotives with sound. They work great. They were $150 a piece, brand new. $150 a piece, brand new. Alright, about a month ago, and this is the reason why I haven't done a video, is because I cannot figure these things out. I bought what I probably should have never bought. $250 a piece. I was watching reviews online. Everybody had great things to say, great pulling power. They do have. How do you get them pull when they barely run? I've cleaned my tracks 3 times. 3 times using all of my most powerful track cleaning devices that I have at hand. Alright. I do have a 3D printer now. I've been using my CRC. I've been using my little track erasers from Woodland Scenics, Tidy Tracks. Alright. I'm not even going to bother to explain this till I show you. Alright. I'm going to fire up 26, what you have up front here. Well, it made sound. Forward at 50. Nothing there. Now, unfortunately, the numbers came off of this side, but this is 19. Okay. That's the first time that's stalled all night. Okay. So I'm going to go down to 28. Clear down here. Alright. Oh, well. Sorry, 19 still actually running. It's just intermittent contact. So, we're going to go down here to 28. That's not going to do nothing. Completely dead in the water. Alright, so we'll go on to my last model power. It's running just fine. 28 and 26 will not connect to one another at all. They're the same model. Will not connect to one another. Their couplers are just too small to hold together. Now, yeah, they are louder than the model power when they can actually get something. Did you see how crappy that is in operation? $150 operates. I usually don't have to tap nothing or anything else. See? These two just keep falling up. I don't know. It might just be the break-in. But to me, you're spending $250 a locomotive. All right, I'm gonna shut this down. You are spending $250 a locomotive. I found brand new brass from Hallmark Brass. Let me stop this. I found brand new brass locomotives from Hallmark Brass that are $250 a piece. I still have to install a DCC decoder in them. Oh well, because DCC decoders have gotten cheap. You know, even the sound unit you can get for 30, 40 bucks. Now, brass, $250. Guaranteed good pickups. They'll pick up electricity all the time. They'll never stall on electric for some reason. You can't get a brass to fail on electrics quite often. Now, some of the older stuff, yeah, sure, the motors are burning out and everything else, but the contacts are still excellent. Now, I'm spending $250 on BLI, Broadway Limited Imports. I can't get them to stay running. Doesn't matter how well I clean the track, doesn't matter how well I clean the wheel treads. They will not stay running. They'll run probably 10, 15 feet down the track and then shut off and restart. I can get my model powertrains to go completely around this layout, no problems. I can get the Kato to go around the layout, no problems. And I'm sure once I get the DCC decoders for the SW1200s, well 900s, they'll go around the layout, no problem. Alright, my Bachmann Doodlebug actually has better pickup than these Broadway Limited Imports. Now, I'm about to disassemble the tenders and add some modeler's clay to the tenders so that they can get more weight, like the model power locomotives I have actually have extra weight built into the tender because they have pickups on the tender. These tenders are very underweight on these Broadway Limited Import models, and they also have power pickup, which tells me that somebody was not doing their job, really not doing their job. Because if I'm paying an extra $100 than what I can get that's reliable for something that's unreliable, there's a big problem. Now, I was kind of expecting this. The hiring guys that are out there promoting a lot of these locomotives probably wind up getting them on consignment or something from Broadway Limited Imports. They have great pulling power. Yeah, they'll pull. But pull, stall, pull, stall, pull, stall. No matter how clean your track is, these pickups are bad. And I mean really bad. And that's two with the same problem. Really, really bad pickups. I don't know if putting weight in the tender is going to help. I've been running them now for about 3 weeks, and I can't get them to stay running a full lap around this layout. No matter how clean I get the track, they stall. I'm about to 3D print a track cleaning car. I did finally figure out how to get things printed. I do have a 3D printer now. It's the Elgu Mars 2 Pro. It took forever for me to get my first print off of it because everything wanted to stick to the little plastic bottom. But after about 4 or 5 tries, I finally started to get something built. Then on the 6th try, it actually built a model. Now, Unfortunately, I was trying to get trucks and wheel sets too, so that way I could at least have some dummy trucks and wheels to work on the layout and get some more cars going. But unfortunately, the file I got for the wheels was, well, out of gauge. And the file I got for the trucks actually works pretty good. I also got a file for 2-bay hoppers. Unfortunately, every time I print one, it wants to widen out. I figured that one out too. It's more in my curing process because I'm using the Elegoo Mercury thing. I need to set the car on end so that the UV light can actually get inside. My mistake. So I need the UV light to actually hit on the inside to cure the inside at the same time as curing the outside, or it's going to constantly bubble out. So I need to go reset that file because I accidentally made the pins too big because it wasn't printing right to start with. Because I had the model set too close to the bottom. So, some kinks are worked out. I figured out the printer, so I can actually print stuff now. It's a resin printer, so it's actually got some really high quality detail. I actually can print N-scale rivets with this thing, and it's pretty amazing. Unfortunately, I've got a sinus infection, so I do sound a little funny. I'm just going to have to do what I can, as I can with these BLIs. I've literally got modeler's putty out here with me. I need to bring out my screwdrivers for doing that sort of stuff, or I need to take the models in to work on them. And right now I've had a massive amount of problems with just being behind on work. I'm in the middle of spring cleanup, which is a lot of leaf shredding and turning over compost bins and stuff like that. So as I get out and actually get the work done, I will have more time to run my trains. I have not had much time for anything here lately. So y'all have a good one. Until next time, I would not recommend BLI. Sorry, Broadway Limited Imports, you just lost me for life. This was my first order from you. I seen your reviews, and to tell you the truth, I think you're bullcrapping people, because these do not run well. I can't get them to stay going. They stall out. They do not have good pickups. They'll stall out going across a standard Atlas turnout. That's the 99% of layouts use that Atlas turnout. It's the same turnout if you even go to Cato's number 4. That insulated frog's right there in the middle. And that insulated frog is about 3/4 of an inch. Your 282 locomotives should get plenty of pickup on both sides of that frog. They stall out on the turnouts. Heck, they stall out on just flex track. Straight flex track. Straight track. I can't explain it. I cannot figure it out. I don't know if the frames are warped. I don't know if the tender pickups aren't connected. I don't know what to even say, because that is massively poor quality. I've had Bachmann's run better straight out of the box than BLI. And this is my first attempt at BLI. This is $250 a piece. These are high-end models, considered high-end models. To stall out every 4 or 5 revolutions of the drivers. I have never seen such poor quality. And that's straight out of the box. They've had, 5 hours on them, run time. They've not gotten any better. They're actually seeming to get worse, not better. But my model power set out here on this layout, heavy moisture. All right, I'm out in a tent shed. A tent shed. All right, this gets humid. It gets humid enough that it builds water on those pipes up there and rains on the layout. It builds water on that canvas and rains on the layout like a greenhouse. All right, I'm trying to fix that problem, but I need to make vents. Now, they've been sitting out here for 3 or 4 months. 3 months. They've been out here. Almost 4 months now. They've been out here in the snow, in the rain, in the windstorms. And yeah, we had a bad one today. It pretty much almost tried to take his tent and carry it off to the neighbor's yard. All right, I had to come out here and restake the thing to the ground twice. So you're talking dusty, dingy environment. I mean, 19 was covered in dirt from it just being blown around. And even still with the dirt on it, I set it on the rails and fired it right up, took right off, ran 3 laps around this layout. Great pickup. Detail, slightly less than BLI, but operational value, A+. It'll run. No matter what, it'll run. It's a tank. BLI, take your details, shove them up where the sun don't shine, and work on your operation. That's the only way I'm gonna buy. I could buy plastic static models all day long to sit on a shelf that look just as good and have all the details that you have for 20, 30 bucks. I could have a static display model. All right. I could print a static display model with every last little rivet detail and everything else and put it on a shelf. Don't make me take $250 of my hard-earned money to buy something, to operate forward, backwards, pull cars, everything else, to sit it on a shelf. That is the most ignorant thing to do with anybody's money. Yeah, granted, you have a lot of collectors. They'll buy something like that, set it up on a shelf. They could spend $20 on a daggone static model that you can build from Shapeways. They'll send it to you as a kit, wheels and everything else. You can put it together, glue it together, and set it on a shelf. And it'll even have more details than these things, including all leaf springs working and everything else, than these things. To sit on a shelf with no electrics, no nothing. It might have a light in it for a headlight that you flip on and off just for a show. All right, that's a static display model. They're cheap. A model railroad locomotive has to perform well, and has to perform in all conditions. A lot of us have damp and dingy basements that we operate in. A lot of us have really hot attics we operate in. All right, we use garages where we also got to park our cars to run our trains. These are high dust environments. These are high dirt environments. These are high moisture environments. They're the absolute worst conditions you could think of. And that's the only place that we have to run our trains. If you cannot provide us with reliable electrical connection between the rails, wheels, and motor, we're not going to want it. This is for the actual operators out there. Some of you can be collectors, and I love you. You guys are great people, you know. You could buy your model trains and put them up on a shelf. An operator goes out and spends $250 on a locomotive. All right, you've already got us paying $20 for cars because you want to pack all these details onto it. Operators, we're getting mad about this crap. Yeah, that's a lot of detail. But when it comes to actually operating it and the details fall off and derail your trains and everything else, that really makes us mad. Us operators, we want operations. We can't get them with $250 shelf divas. And that's exactly what I call when you go out and spend the money on a locomotive, get it home, expect it to operate, and it operates, how do I put this, like a Reliant automobile. It'll never work. You might as well set it on a shelf. That is the worst thing to do to a model train, is to have to regulate it to sitting on a shelf, because it absolutely will not operate under the conditions that you need it to. Now, when you look at the real railroads, do they sit there and go, well, there's snow on the ground, keep them in the shed? All right, it's raining, park them in the yard. No. Rain, snow, night, day, hurricane, tornado, the real railroads are out there running. Is it that hard for us operators to ask from these companies that are charging us a week's paycheck, so for some of us, for a daggone model train, to sit there and say, it operates? Yeah, sure, it's missing bells, it's missing whistles. Maybe they're add-on detail parts that are in the shake box. Okay, it's fine. Most of us don't really care for them anyways. We want a train that goes forward, backwards, and pulls cars. How hard is that? All right, it could look pretty ugly. We don't care. I mean, there's a lot of N-scale locomotives that are way out of scale. All right, we don't care. Forward, backwards, pulls cars. That's our three main goals. If we can operate it and we can make our little layout seem like part of the real world, we're happy. When it comes to, well, heck, I just cleaned this track 5 minutes ago, I better clean it again to get a train to run. Somebody's not doing something right. I don't think it's us model railroaders. So we're spending our hard-earned money on something that we expect to operate. And there ain't model train company out there anymore that looks at us and goes, we need to give you something that operate. No, they go, we need to give you something that looks good. We need something that'll operate. Well, this is 3 weeks coming, and it's a rant, and I'm sorry, but I am majorly disappointed because this thing has tender pickups. It's got electrical pickups on the front truck. It's got electrical pickups on the rear truck. And it's got electrical pickups on all 8 drivers. And I don't know if they're not making contact. I don't know if the wheels aren't engaged properly, because I haven't pulled that out either. Which I'm dreading doing, because if one of those drivers is out of gauge, I'm going to be spending hours fixing it. It sucks to fix a steam locomotive driver's axles because they're out of gauge, which should never happen. You can set them from factory real easy. You can set the quartering from factory real easy. You've got the bigger machines that can do 1,000 of them at a time. When I'm sitting here doing one by one individually because of a screw up at the factory, it drives me nuts. This drives me nuts. There's no reason why those contacts should not be picking up to the point where I'm probably going to have to strip down those locomotives back to bare bones, polish the tips that were blackened on those brass contacts, because the blackening stuff that they're using does not conduct electricity. And that's probably the entire problem, because they have blackened metal wheels. They have blackened pickups so that you don't see them. Those can take forever to wear off to where it actually creates good contact. And now I'm going to be sitting here with a 1,000 grit sandpaper, going through and taking that blackening agent off of all of these wheels just to get them to work. It could take me hours to get these trains to run right. because somebody at the factory sat there and went, let's make it look good instead of let's make it operate. The good companies are gone. Lifelike's gone. Model Power is now in the hands of Lionel. I'm hoping that they continue to produce because I'm probably going to buy more of their locomotives and probably send these two pieces of crap back. I don't know. I hate to send them back because I love their pulling power. They pulled a good train up this grade behind me, and this is my almost 3% grade. And it pulled, say, probably close to 22 cars up that, and not the greatest cars that I have. So I was really happy with the pulling power. I wasn't happy with the every 5 seconds having to nudge the train. I know this is a long video, so I think I'm just going to cut it now because I'll continue to talk all night long. So y'all have a good one. Bye.